What's up, guys? I thought I'd do an update for a little bit of a screen recorded picture throw in an update for later October. Today's October 22nd, 2015, and it's exactly 8:26 p.m. by the way, guys, so if you wanted to know the time, there you go. But I'll bring you over here to the 10 Network Autos. This is basically where I put the blog, and there's not much talking about these cars, but this has got a list of the majority of the vehicles I have, and there's a few of you guys have never seen videos on here, and that's because I haven't had time to do videos on them, or some of them I got and then they're gone. I go quick, so I'm going to go through a list and basically show you all what I have and don't have. So here we go. Welcome. This is where you come here, and this is the projects. Okay, we'll go with the first row here. Go across here. 2008 Impala SS. Sad news about that car. It was my DD up till the transmission took a shit. Yes, the transmission is pretty much gone. I'm pretty sure all the clutches are very shiny in there. I lost first. No, I got first and reverse. That's it. Which is odd because you normally don't have those in that transmission, but I do. And it won't shift in the second above, and it slips terrible at first, so it needs a transmission. It's got about 83,000 miles on it, so it's between 80 and 85,000, so that's typical with those cars. The 95 Camaro, I'm actually still got it. I'm driving it right now. Actually is what I'm doing. That's what I'm driving to work daily. Having a blast too. I forgot how fun that car was to drive. It's very fun. This 88 Pontiac Trans Am. This was my dream car, but because of the transmission in the Impala, I was forced to basically sell this car. I wish I wouldn't have had to. Do I have any? I don't think I have any better pictures of it, but I'll throw a couple pics up on there. And this would have been a cool car. It was 80 with a 77 front clip on it, or 76 Smoking Bandit front clip. But it had build sheet. It was a matching numbers car. It was a WS4 car. Air conditioning. Some other options that were nice. Wasn't a T-top car. Had all the molding, had a lot of the options. It was a nice car. It was a nice option car, and would have been a great car to restore, but sadly I had to sell it. And being that it had a matching numbers motor in it, it really wasn't the car that I wanted, because a matching numbers car would make me want to keep it stock and revert it back to more of an original state, to have a more original restoration. But in a Trans Am, my dream Pontiac Trans Am, second gen, is to have an LS motor, a very, very happy LS motor, possibly a 6-speed, all around rack and pinion suspension, all that jazz, 4-wheel disc brakes, all that. Basically have a modern day car, modern day track car, in a second gen Trans Am. Well, second generation Camaro. I don't know if it was, I think it's second generation Trans Am as well. Go to the second line here. As you guys can tell, this 74 Chevy K10 was scrapped. This was the first thing on the channel that was pretty much what made the channel is what it is. It was me restoring this, or working on restoring this 74 Chevy K10. It wasn't a 74. It wasn't a 74. It was a 77. That needs to be changed to 77. As you can see, the 84 Z28. Hold on. We'll go back to this a little bit here. The 77, which went ahead of that, was basically way too rusted out to save. I mean, this thing literally, you push the clutch and the cab would move back 4 inches, with no fenders kind of holding the cab forward. It was pretty crusty. I'd have had to get a whole new body for it. And when I bought it, sadly, they had an 84 pickup two-wheel drive that was perfectly, well, not perfect, but it was awesome. The box was pretty much flawless. I mean, it had a few dents here and there and had no rust. I wish I'd have bought that pickup and put that cab on that frame, because it had a very solid frame. That 77 had a very solid frame. I wish I would have kept those axles now and transfer case, being what I can't find MP205s and Dana 44s, 14 bolts, full floating rear end anywhere anymore in Iowa. I check Craigslist all the time. I know a bunch of guys I can get them off of, but they're kind of holding on to them now too, because they're getting kind of hard to find. So yeah, my '84 Z28, it was scrapped due to it having a bent frame. It was a very solid car. It was an Oklahoma car. Awesome car. Would have been a great car if it wasn't tweaked. I mean, I'd have still probably fixed it if I wouldn't have lost the spot that I had in the shop. And I'd have put a 383 stroker in there. It would have been a fun car. Now, 76 Oldsmobile 98, the boat. It was an awesome car. That was basically my first car I drove when I had a license. I actually drove that back and forth to school for a while. That car had a 455 in it. Oldsmobile Rocket. Love that car. Plenty of power. I mean, it was getting a little high on life. Or getting low on its life. Well, the end of its life. Had 100 and some thousand miles on 116,000, I think, which was a lot for a old school block. Engine carbureted, ran great, floated down the road, didn't have much rust in it. I sold that car twice and bought it back once. I sold it I traded it for my 71 K5, 71 K5 Blazer that's just down there to the left a little bit. And then the kid that had it, I traded the Blazer for it. He wanted to sell it. I bought it back for less than I paid for it the first time. And then I turned around and sold it a couple months later. Actually, it's more like a year later. I didn't drive it, it's sitting there. I was like, well, I'm going to let it go and sell it to somebody. I'm going to do something with it. And I sold it later again and made money. So that was a pretty good... That car, I had nothing to complain about that car. And all I did with that car, I think, really was change the oil in it, put a transmission seal in it, and put a stereo in it. And I had fun with the whole car the whole time. I never have any complaints about that car. Now, my 71 Chevy K5 Blazer, big blaze. I never wanted to sell that truck. It came down to it that I didn't need what I traded it for. That's for sure. I definitely didn't need what I traded for. It was not a super solid truck, but for a first generation Blazer, yeah, it was solid. I think they were first generations. Yeah, should have been. The full top Blazer. Love that body style. That body style is awesome body style, and I would love to have another Blazer again someday. A little less rust. This needed rockers, rocker boxes, rear lower quarters. You know, the typical stuff on a older 67 through 72 Chevy truck. And it had been a good truck. It had a 383 stroker, and I was going to put a 5.3 or a 6 liter in it. Vortec. I have a newer Chevy truck and have something cool. Keep the 35-inch tires on it with the lift. Okay, but the real deal was I wasn't supposed to let it go with the wheels and tire combination that was on it. Had a set of Grand Prix American racing wheels on it. I love them wheels. Them wheels are awesome. They're hard to find anymore. They're actually the AR26s. Or the AR26 American racing wheels replaced those. And them were a cool set of wheels. And the wheels and tires are good. The tires were great. I think they're either Maxxis Mutters or Buckshot Mutters or something like that. They were a good tire. And they ended up getting, the guy I sold the truck to told the guy, he sold it again, and told the guys the tires didn't go with it. They come and loaded it up and took it, and he went to go get the tires off, and they already swapped them out with something else. And they're sold, now they're on another Blazer running out of town, which kind of sucks. I wish I could get them. I guess I could do the old pirating thing and go over there in the middle of the night and steal them, but that's not me. Next one, the 84 Berlinetta. It was a cool car too. It was had the electronic dash into the digital dash. Very nice car. Pretty clean, rust free. Ugliest color I've ever seen. Briar brown is what they called it. It's sold. I sold it. I actually traded it for something that I don't even have a picture of yet. Guys, this is how... I mean, this is not new. I've had this pickup for like 8 months, probably. Probably longer than that. And I just never went and got it. The guy... I work with the guy that I traded it to. And he he says, well, it's fine where it's at. He says, nobody's going to hurt it here, and I really don't have a place to store it. So I was like, all right, if you don't have a problem with it. The truck, I'll basically give you a rundown on what it is. It's a 79 GMC. It started out life as a long box. The guy I got it from bought it brand new in a 78. Had no miles on it. It's yellow and white. You know what, the 70s yellow and white. It was had a 350 with a full-time four-wheel drive, so it had MP203 in it. Turbo 350 half-ton. He shortened it, put a step-side box on it. Stock ride height, pretty much everything stock. It's got a 400 small lock in it now. He swapped that out. But other than that, he basically can tell me everything that's ever been done to that truck, which is cool. I've never had anything older like that could be done that way. That's one of the first vehicles he ever bought. And it was kind of hard to get him talked out of it. And it's relatively in good shape. I mean, it needs a hood because it was popped open. And I bet you the 400 doesn't have a carburetor and it's 400 small block, so it's probably most likely stuck. But if I was going to do anything, I'd probably put a 6-liter or 5.3 in one of them again. Something newer Vortec, because I like that motor. Good design. Good reliability out of that motor. Decent fuel mileage, really. My 96 Crown Vic. My P71. Blew that car up. Bought that car for $700. Had 140-some thousand miles on it. AC worked. Car had plenty of balls. Car had too much balls. I was in high school at the time that I owned that car. Loved that car to death. I think the only thing I did to that was change oil. And had a radiator leak. I got that after a couple months of driving. I bet you I drove this thing for a year. Put synthetic oil in it. Never changed it again. I was driving out to my brother's house, where a lot of my older videos were taken in that shop. Basically my place where I learned everything, my education in that shop. Sad thing that my brother had to sell that place. Beautiful house too, but shit happens, you know. And I was driving out there, and the temp light come on. Well, the temperature gauge came up, and I was like, crap. I was like, well, I'm not in one that likes to walk, and I don't really didn't have to want to walk and get something to come drag it back out there. So I did the old scout stride, shove her to the floor, and it got there. It made it to my brother's house, knocking and a banging though. She did not like that. Running into no water in her eye, finished her off. And I realized either before, or it had a cracked block. Actually, I realized that after I got out there, and I don't think it was. I don't think I cracked it. I think it was cracked either when I first got it or been cracked before I bought it. It was cracked, and all the oil and stuff around it was dry. I mean, it was wet, but it had a bunch of oil on top of it, and where it was cracked, I don't think it was a new crack. So I think it wouldn't have been worth saving anyways. Even though my 4.6 were easy to find, still easy to find. I should have fixed it, but it was a little rusty. Had 140-some thousand. It was an old Crown Vic. I mean, it was an old Crown Vic. What can I say? Still never got side marker lights for it. I mean, I love that car. V8. Hell of a donut car. God, you just smoke tires off the back of it all day long. My 74 Chevy Stepside. I traded that for 3000 GT, and guys, I'm going to have to say that was the worst decision that I've done in many car buying experience. That had to be one related to the worst. That pickup was awesome. I love that truck to death. I mean, that if I could have that, if I could trade that back, I would trade my Impala for that, to be real honest. If I could have that back, I love that truck. That truck was one of the best trucks I ever had. I built that bad boy, pretty much. I didn't build it. Got a lot of it, but I rebuilt the front end. Did a lot of stuff to it. Just, I mean, put fuel tank in it, a lot of yada yada. Just did a bunch of stuff on it. I spent a good solid year and a half working on that truck, making it to where I could drive it. Drove it like 3 times before I traded. I wish I had never traded it. That truck would have been so much nicer. I'd have put a 4L 80E in it and a 6-liter with a cam, and I'd have had so much fun in that truck. That would have been basically what I'd have done to it, because that truck would have been worth it, and it was a hell of a truck. I don't even know if I would have ever painted it, because that truck with all the mismatched panels would have been a mean machine. It looked good. I always got compliments on it. It just looked mean. It looked like it had plenty of history in it, and it basically represented me in what I'm about. I mean, it doesn't have to look pretty as long as it basically can power through any type of mud. But I like my cars to look really nice and stuff, you know. I think I like my cars. Look really nice, show cars, and some four-wheel drives like that K5. I would like that to look nice. But this truck kind of changed the way I thought of four-wheel drives. Like that truck had enough just patina, bumps, scratches, paint missing, mismatched panels, that it was just it. It was just a solid old truck, and it looked pretty much just mean, is what it looked like. And I don't have it no more either, sadly, like I said. This 86 IROC Z, I sold that. Well, I didn't sell it. I traded it for this Blazer that's down here on the lower. And we'll get to that in a little bit. This 86 IROC, I think I have a few videos of it, putting an exhaust on it. That was a fun car. I drove it about 30 miles. That's about as far as I drove it. She smoked real bad when you first started her up. She needed valve seals real bad. Had good compression. Just had no oil pressure. Very little when it was warmed up. Had like 5 pounds at idle. I mean, it came up quick. I mean, it had 40 at like 2,500, but I'd had to put 4-speed or 5-speed in it. I actually had a 5-speed to put in it, and I never got around to putting it in it because I had to rebuild it. Had a cracked case, but yeah, it had a lot of rust, a lot of floor pan problems, a lot of rust in the back. I mean, it was an IO car, but it was still an IROC Z. It had a 5.7 out of a GTA Trans Am. It had a new computer and harness. A lot of that stuff was new from the other owner. And I sold or traded it, like I said earlier, for this K5 that's down here. We'll get to in a little bit. The 98 Grand Am, I call it the American Proster Rocket. I gave, I think, $700 for it. Got these cars from both the same place, the Crown Vic and the Grand Am. I got them both from the same guy, a good friend of mine. Yeah, well, actually, it's a good friend of mine's dad, but I'm good friends with him too. His friend's dad, he's runs a scrapyard, and he bought this car not to junk. He bought this car basically flip. Basically sold me for like $100 more than he bought it. Same way with this Crown Vic. I mean, this killer guy. Me and his son has been friends since we were like fucking diapers, pretty much. Yeah. And I sold this. I made money on it. Sold it to my brother. He drove it for a while and sold it, and he made money on it. So yeah, it was a good car. A good car. Put some Firebird, or no, not Firebird, Sunfire wheels on it. Looked pretty good. I liked it. Drove and ran pretty good too, really. I mean, it had a 2.4 liter inline 4. I can't remember what it had a name GM called it, but it got like 30 mile a gallon. It would spin the front tires even. I mean, it was my little beater car. It had like 126,000 miles on it. Had the world's worst electrical problems, like traction control button wouldn't work sometimes. It would do some stupid stuff. You start it without a key. Just your random 98 Grand Am problems. So now we're down here to the 85 K5 Blazer. I still have that truck. I actually have a 5.3 in transmission that will bolt to an MP205 transfer case. It's got a 305 in it right now. Had a knocking 350 in it when I got it. Realized that it had a 350 that must have been built by 2-year-olds because it was missing a bearing on a rod. It used pipe dope for the head gaskets. There was a bunch of other stuff. It was a total foobar problem going on in that motor. But I kept it. I still got it. It's hiding. I might sell it. I don't know. It depends. I got a bunch of projects going. I don't know which one to go on. Got a 5.3. I'm thinking about putting in it. 5.3 out of the 99 Chevy pickup with a 4L60E, which bolts right up to an MP208. It's got a MP203 in it. Full-time four-wheel drive, which I'm not a big fan of. It's an ex-DOT truck, like a forestry truck. It's got quad shocks. It's got a lot of the upgraded stuff, but it had a 305 in it instead of a 6.2. So now we'll move over because that's the plans for that are unknown at this point. Now right here was a 2000 Firebird, which is the Mighty Wings. I love that car. That car, I beat the hell out of that car for a long time. I mean, I drove that to work for over a year. I mean, it was fun to drive. I thought I killed it multiple times. I bet you I got that car hot, like super hot, 6 times. I mean, cooling problems, all I had with that car. Yeah. It was it was an alright car. I mean, it was more than an alright car. It was an awesome car. I actually traded my 3000 GT that I got traded for that 74 Chevy Septide for that. Oh, that Firebird. And that was a good trade. I mean, if I'd have traded the Firebird for that 74 Chevy Septide, that might have been a different story, but that Firebird was a good car. I mean, it looked worse than the oh crap. It looked worse than a 3000 GT, but it was 10 times the car that 3000 GT was. I mean, it wouldn't move as good, but hey, it was a nice car. Had a pretty cool two-tone paint job. I'd actually like to fix that car. Put a 3800, maybe modified it, put a turbo on it, put a supercharger on it, something like that. Make it a little quicker. Four-wheel disc brake car. Automatic. Pretty much everything worked except intermittent windshield wipers. It was pretty much rust-free. It was a T-type car, leaked, of course. I had some front questionable body work done to it, which I'd like to fix all that and had painted back to two-tone black and silver that it was, because it was a nice-looking car. I'll admit that. If I can bring here up the car list, because I think I have a suggested page here. I don't know. I'll go through some other stuff that I had on here. The Tahoe, I don't have the Tahoe anymore. I had it for a couple months, and I ended up selling it back to my brother because he couldn't find a good Tahoe to buy. He still got it. Got 240,000 miles on it. Still running strong. I had 2 Berlinettas. I had the 84 parts Berlinetta, which it got crashed with the other 84 Z28 I had. I got a 95 Z28 Camaro, guys. You know that. I got the part of the V8 swap for my my 95 V6 car. I still got that. Haven't got rid of that. Don't plan on getting rid of that, because if they go, they're gonna go as a pair. Anything else? Of course, 1000 GT. I don't have it no more. 80 Trans Am. Don't have it anymore. My GMC K10. Yeah, my 79 now. That's the one I haven't got yet. I'll do a video on it if I ever get it. I'll do a video on the K5 Blazer too if I ever remember it. The K5 Blazer is clean, solid. Still got original rock covers in it. Got a little bit of floor problems. Got some holes in the floor, but they're like a giant tub, rusted from the inside out. Very solid truck. So yeah, I bet you I've rambled on way too long. Yeah, this is gonna be a long video, but guys, this is an update for October 27th. And let you know, I had a 65 Chevy too, and I don't have that no more. Don't know if I ever made a video of it either. But yeah, there's a bunch of videos I don't make of cars because I don't have them long enough. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope this has cleared up some of you guys' questions on whether I still have stuff or not. And yeah. Oh, one more thing for this update. Being I sold some stuff. I sold one of my four-wheelers. Speaking of which, the one I just did a video on just recently, I got a killer offer on it, not fixed, so I sold it for the killer offer I got on it. I sold one of my other ones that you guys have never seen a video of, so basically I worked on it and just never made a video of it. I don't know why, but I just didn't. I sold it. It was an 08 EFI. Four-wheeler was nice. I'll throw a picture of it on here if I remember. And I sold the Trans Am, as I told you. And now I'm packing a pretty good amount of cash. I'm now going to go look, instead of fixing the Impala right now, I'm going to go find me something that's four-wheel drive, gets relatively decent gas mileage to drive back and forth to work this winter. I'm looking at like a Trailblazer, S10 Blazer, Tahoe, Avalanche, like a half-ton pickup truck. I know a lot of them don't get the world's greatest mass mileage. I'm mainly focused on S10 pickup or Blazer or a Trailblazer. I'm looking at a couple of Trailblazers right now, lower miles. Nice Blazers. And I might be possibly getting one of them. And if I do, I'll do a video of them on them. And of course, you guys know me. I won't keep them stock, so there might be some upgrade videos or something like that. So let me know what you guys want to see. I can do a video on the Trans Am the 80 Trans Am, because I still have it here. I had to deliver it to the guy. I work with the guy I sold that to as well. I got to help him deliver it. He's gonna come. He's gonna help me, and I'm gonna help. Basically, I told him I'd help deliver it. So we haven't done that yet. So if you guys want a video of that, I can run out and do a video of that too. If you guys want to see it, it's a cool car. So we'll catch you later, guys. Have a good one.